Hello, hello, hello. So happy to have you with us. So, I'm going to talk about the ending of The Bachelor. Thank goodness it is over. I am so happy. And it's not surprising that it ended up the way I thought, which is not good. And that's because he pulled an ARIE, which is something I pretty much predicted in a few of my older videos that I did earlier in the season under the titles Why is Peter So Confused and Is Peter Confused, and those titles. So he did pull an Ari and he chose Maddie or Madison in the end. However, she left. He was really going to choose her, but I should say he chose Hannah Ann in the end. He was going to choose her had she not left. And this was very, very apparent when he was actually proposing to Hannah Ann. And I thought the proposal was very lackluster. I thought it was an insult for him to even bring up Madison's name during the proposal. And I think that since she was having so many questions when he did that, first of all, she probably should have just not showed up herself because even up until the very last moment, she was not getting what she needed in that relationship. Let's take a look.
Until you're at your absolute breaking point, and that's where I'm at. I want someone to be sure of me, and it doesn't seem like he's there. I don't know what to do. Everything in me just wants to put in my guard and just tap out.
And that's exactly what she should have done. She should have just tapped out. It's not a matter of her giving up on him, but it's a matter of her choosing herself first and being willing to walk away from a situation. Is not even a real relationship, really. Any of these relationships on The Bachelor, when you think about it, the relationship starts after they end this filming. But it would have been wise for her to end it and see if he kept, pursuing her, and if that's where his feelings truly were with her. His heart was never truly with her, and he tried to even make up an excuse in the after the rose ceremony, saying he only had 2 days to do this and do that. Look, Peter, you knew exactly what you were walking into. What I would advise, if any of the producers are listening, is how about the Bachelor or the Bachelorette have a therapist or life coach on hand, whatever of their choosing, so that they can talk through these emotions with someone, because he made it seem like he didn't know what he was getting into. And just to have a balanced viewpoint here, she, in a sense, when she confronted him in the After the Rose, Hannah Ann, she also kind of made it seem as though she didn't know his heart was not truly with her. Hannah Ann, you knew, because that was the whole point of you not potentially showing up. Deep down in your heart, you knew, your intuition told you, he wasn't truly with you. However, instead of tapping out, which is what you said,
I want someone to be sure of me, and it doesn't seem like he's there.
you chose to keep this going, even after they weren't sure that you were going to actually be there and show up. Then you decided to show up, and you decided to accept his proposal. You could tell she was like bracing herself for what he was going to say. Then there was a pleasant look on her face when he told her that she wasn't going to show up. Madison wasn't going to show up.
You're a beautiful spirit. The love that you show me is all that.
When this was happening to me, this just looked all fake. It looked so fake, and I couldn't even be happy. The expressions on the face, and her expressions specifically, and just like I just couldn't even be happy for them. Like, I knew the shoe was gonna drop. I had peeped this from way back when. He just seemed so just unsure of himself. and what he wanted. And that is why I think this works for women. Now, this ended on such a bad note. If the producers are out there and listening, I think we can try this one more time. If Claire actually picks some men in their 30s who are ready for love, and that's in every aspect, and ready to take on a family and be a leader and provider, then they should maybe choose another bachelor, and let that hopefully end on a good note. But just stop it after that. That should be the last bachelor, because it's just, and this is coming from someone who actually really likes the show a lot, or I could even say loves the show. It's just not working for the men. They need to maybe move on with specifically with the women. Claire is a great choice. I hope she chooses wisely. I hope she doesn't choose the majority of the men to be in their 20s. And if they are in their 20s, that's not a bad thing. They just need to be ready. And they need to be mentally strong, emotionally strong. And they need to be out of their parents' house, period. Why was Peter still living at home? And he should not have been living at home and being the bachelor. I mean, this made for great TV, but at the end of the day, this did not make for a good mate. And Chris Harrison did say it best, that no one was more surprised than Hannah Ann herself. She was shocked that Peter chose her, because she knew he had personal hangups with, with Madison. And not only that, they started the whole season with him having hangups on an ex. Look at my Hannah B video. Why was he still so confused? And it came out later that a month or a week after they were together, Peter inquired of Hannah Ann if he could speak to Hannah B. Why does he care about what Hannah B has to say, or what she thinks, or getting closure with her? The closure was on the show. Leave it be. You do not need to keep communicating with your ex to figure out how she feels about the situation. Let her sort her own feelings out. His attention should be with Hannah Ann at this point, and he should be caring about what she has to say and how she feels. But because he's so confused and he couldn't even make his own choices for himself, because he's still conditioned to think about what his parents think, or I don't even know. I don't even want to get into that psychology. I am not going to go there, but he needs to just cut his losses and move on. And apparently from basically the first day, we could see that he was not in the headspace to do that. We also could see that he was saying that he said over and over and over again what he wanted was someone to love him as much as he loved himself. Well, he had that with Hannah Ann, or love him as much as he loved them. And he had that with Hannah Ann, but he did not stay with her in a relationship. So that just showed me that even though he was saying that's what he wanted, he truly, really didn't want that.
I'm a little nervous at the same time, but family's important, There she is.
There she is.
Where's Hannah?
This is Hannah Ann.
You can tell that Hannah Ann fit in really well with the family. The mom gave her a nice embrace. She even went in deeper. You can see Hannah Ann going in deeper for a deeper hug. It was just very, very lovely encounter, and I can see why the mom really was an advocate for her. Do you think the mom's tears were manipulation for her son to do what she wanted him to do? Do you think she's controlling? Yes, she loves him very much, but do you think that this is also a controlling, manipulative tactic that his mother's using to get what she wants?
She's not there for you. She's
not there for you, Bud. But Bud, you know what? I have to tell you something. I said a prayer last night. I said, Lord, please.
I don't know if he's looking away thinking,
guide
Mom, you never say
Peter
prayers.
today and
Like,
guide
why are you saying
Madison
this?
to see where they're at in this relationship, because
Here it goes.
you have a gem waiting for you who is madly head over heels in love with you, and God put her there for you. I think God has answered my prayers and put the right person in your path. But you know, maybe deep in your heart, Bud, you knew that.
Okay, that's when
Because
she
of
should
all
have
the
probably
issues that
stopped,
were
because
already
now it's
surrounding
starting to like
the
be
situation.
pushy. She can tell on his
Madison's
from his
a sweet
face a little bit.
lovely girl. That Hannah Ann is an angel on earth.
Oh wow.
And I want him to make the right choice. I love you so much.
Me too.
I love you with all of my heart. Hannah Ann is madly in love with Peter. It's gonna be good. All I can do is pray that God enlightens him and sends him a sign of who the right girl is. You
And
deserve
maybe
the
God
best.
did
A mother's
by
intuition is never wrong.
Madison not showing up, but Peter just could not keep his commitment to Hannah Ann. He just could not.
Sends him a sign of who the right girl is. You deserve the best. A mother's intuition is never wrong.
And as much as we may not have liked the delivery, in the end, she was right. She was right.
Peter's family. So, show of hands, how many of you agree here with Peter's mom speaking her truth and being so honest? Okay. How many think she should have kept her opinion to herself? All right, mixed emotions here as well. I can honestly say in all of my years on this show, I have never seen a family so emotionally invested. Peter's mom clearly feels passionately about her son's decision. But what happens next is on a whole other level.
Before we get into that, I want to remind you of what Peter said about his family's opinion.
I trust my family so much, and I'm going to take their advice and factor that into my decision because they know me so well. They know me better than
Let's get
anyone else.
into the mom's intuition and his family's
This
opinion.
reminds me very much of you last season with Hannah B.
That's a good point. It's a very
In hindsight, that's exactly what it was.
It does. It's very similar.
You were head over heels in love with Hannah B. But unfortunately, she went and she picked the wrong person. And now you have a perfect girl right in front of you. And you're gonna risk that? But
Why is it that you're not just immediately like, yeah, Hannah Ann's the answer here?
You guys, you guys, you just don't, I was telling you, dog, like, you guys don't know the Maddie I know.
I mean, this is
Our
something you
entire
put into words.
relationship has been absolutely perfect.
Has it been better than Hannah Ann's?
There's been no hiccups.
You would say there's no hiccups.
Until this, and that's what everyone just caught up on this, and I can see past this. I'm not someone that just gets caught up in this.
pushing
You don't get it.
Peter,
No,
we're not
I'm
pushing
just being
you.
real. I'm just being real.
And I'm being
Let me
serious.
finish.
Would you rather us lead you down the wrong
I
road?
hear you guys, but you guys also have to trust me as much as I trust you guys. And you guys have not been dating these girls for the last 2 months.
Here go the tears again.
Hannah Ann loves you with all of her heart. Don't let her go.
This is when it started sounding a bit cultish to me.
Bring her home. Bring her home to us. We will welcome her with open arms. We will welcome her with all the love in the world. All the love in the world. She's a dream come true. And God has placed her there for you.
This is when he tries to stand up for himself and his decisions.
So madly in love with you.
You gotta stop doing this.
You
gotta stop doing this.
I'm crying.
No, but you gotta stop doing this right now. You don't know how bad this is. You gotta stop doing
No, I
this.
can't stop.
No, but you gotta stop. Like, it's literally destroying me right now and pushing me so you have no idea.
Peter, I don't want to do that, but I have emotions. I
Okay,
have
but you
feelings.
can't be doing, like, come on. This is insane right now.
to do that to me.
I trust you. I trust you. I trust you with all of my heart. Because I love you with all of my heart. I love you so much. Oh, I love you so much.
I don't have their support with Madison. It sucks. It really sucks. I tried, and maybe I didn't do a good enough job, but I tried to explain to them why she meant so much to me. Why I am in love with her. They see other things. The way that I can understand, and if I can understand it, why
There's more to discuss here on maybe how like the family has impacted everyone's to talk about that in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.